Welcome back to Less Cash, More Mash. My name's Tom.
And my name's Mike.
Today is going to be our first trip to Ireland. We have not had an Irish whiskey on the channel yet.
Not on the channel,
No. You were Jameson and Ginger?
Ginger, yeah.
Okay, so Jameson and Ginger. I have had Jameson in the past, but again, I threw it on ice and I just drank it down. I just remember it being okay. I'd have to go back and try it again like we're doing now. But Powers is the one we're actually going with today. And Powers, their flagship gold label brand, was supposed to be the first whiskey ever to be bottled as an first Irish whiskey, which is, I would have always thought, like, you always hear Jameson, you don't really hear Powers,
right.
But like they're supposed to be, historically they're a single pot distilled whiskey. This one happens to be a triple distilled whiskey, which I've heard of double distilled, and I know people do triple distill, but I'm assuming it's going to be smooth as heck, because usually when you distill it more than
Never
once,
heard of it, to be honest. So.
No, you haven't heard of the. I know when I was.
I never heard of Powers, so.
I've heard of Powers. I have never had it.
Neither.
I've never had it. You know, when you go to a bar, and again, this was like I think this was Irish whiskey, and then all the other ones took over, and they kind of fell on the backside somehow. But anyways, I know this has been matured in American oak. I have heard of Powers. I've never had them. Yeah. But like when you go to a bar, it's Bushmills or Jameson. Tellamadu. Those are the he looked over there. I actually have a plaque of Tellamadu. I've never had it in my life, but someone had bought it for the room. And I'm like, I don't want to hang it behind me because I actually never drank it. You know what I mean? So much like the old number 7, I never drank before, and it wasn't going to be in here. But I had a hook, and it was there, and it's not really in the frame anyways. But I didn't put it there to be in the frame. I just had it there anyways. But anyways, I've never had Powers, so I'm kind of interested to see. I mean, again, Irish whiskey to me was good, but it always reminded me of much like a Canadian whiskey, where I would think in my head, I should put this with something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to me, a bourbon usually has that nice, ooh, it had a pop. Bourbon usually has that nice little, sometimes you get a cork and it doesn't go, it has that finish where it actually has a lot of flavor. But we'll see. Well, maybe this is triple distilled, so I'm thinking, when I was down in Gatlinburg, we had I want to say double distilled moonshine, and it took out everything, and it was just smooth and happy, and it was 103 proof, and it was actually Jim Tom's.
80 something?
This is an 86.4 proof. It was $23.99 for the bottle. So it's not pricey by any means, because Jameson's up there in the price. And actually, I don't have enough to give it. Definitely a little fun fact. I saw this, and I'm going to give this out to the whiskey vault or the whiskey tribe. If you put a splash in your hand and you rub your hand like this and you get rid of all the alcohol, and then you smell your hand, that you can actually get the smells off it. I didn't have enough. I had a little bit that was on the table. I wanted to see if it would do it, but it ain't gonna do it.
Don't go driving.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you're supposed to be able to get the smells. Another big thing, if you got to clear your palate, they say, if you smell your armpit, your elbow, and then you go back, it clears your nose. It resets your nose. They're very good. If you're not subscribed to the Whiskey Tribe or the Whiskey Vault, same guys, super knowledgeable, funny guys, great channel. But again,
it's one and the same.
They're the same people. Yeah, they actually made the Whiskey Tribe, because the Whiskey Tribe is what they used to call their followers. And they had such a following that they made a whole second channel. It's actually very impressive for the whiskey tubers. I don't consider myself a whiskey tuber until we get a generous amount of followers. Thank you all that are subscribed so far. But when you get subscriptions, they got a cult that follows them, which is although I gotta say, smelling,
it's good. It's good. I just can't figure out what they are.
Hold on, let me go here, because this, again, I'm not getting the brown sugar.
No. Maybe a little vanilla with alcohol, but not even strong alcohol. Mm-mm. Oh, you already tried it?
No.
I'm trying.
I'm eating and getting rid of the peanut that was stuck in my tooth. No. Yeah, no, I definitely, it's a vanilla with something else. I'm trying to figure out what the other smell is.
This one kind of like a barrel. Don't really get a vanilla. I don't really.
You
get a
know,
vanilla in
that
this
you
one.
know, we've been saying that on I don't taste. Now, when I used to drink wine, and again, I was not a connoisseur of wine. I would drink it by the box full. I'll tell you exactly how I used to do it. But every once in a while, you get a certain wine, you really could get that oaky barrel taste. I'm going to agree with your assessment. There was a taste in the end that is not traditional to all the other ones we've been tasting.
No,
Like
but I can't
it came
pinpoint
out. So in the smell, I mean, this is an Irish whiskey, so I get it. It's definitely a different smell.
hint of something,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure. Not either.
It's actually a lighter, like a fresher. You know how I keep saying banana bread? I'm smelling like a white cupcake on this one. Like it's like a
I don't get it. I don't get that.
you don't get like the it's like a light. You know when you smell like a chocolate cake, it smells like angrier, and the white cake just smells happy. And I don't like white cake. I hate it. I think it's just too foo-foo. Like it's just like not tasty to me. But
Not bad if you have chocolate frosting. I probably didn't say that loud enough.
no, I didn't hear it. I didn't even hear what you said. So something about frosting.
It's not bad with chocolate frosting.
No,
It breaks down.
because the chocolate gives you that angry taste. You know what I mean? Where the vanilla just is like, who eats white cake? You know what I mean? Like it's just boring. Where like I can eat a moist
This one
chocolate
has a
cake.
little heat going down.
It does, and I'm actually want to say there's something on my tongue, but it's not the traditional flavors. It
It
actually
doesn't have the tingle, but you feel it more here than I don't really feel a tingle on my tongue.
I'm trying to get that taste and that smell. It's vanilla-esque. It really is, but it doesn't. It's not that traditional vanilla with the brown sugar. It has that. It's lighter. It seems. Dare I say butterscotch?
I don't get that either.
No.
Now that you say it, you might have that's
Not 100%, but it's
when
not
you're
a.
swirling it.
It's not like a vanilla. It almost has like a tainted.
I could go with a butterscotch.
It's almost like to me. It reminds me kind of butterscotchy, like a straight vanilla, more like, and it's not a caramel. Like it's not a thick caramel. It's almost like a butterscotch is kind of that in between, lighter on the smell. You don't get it on the taste as much, but on the smell, I
nothing
get
on the taste
no.
that way. But you do get a smell of butterscotch. And it's not. You get a little burn, but it's not harsh.
No, it's different. I'm trying to. There's something that's sitting on my tongue, and I want to. It almost tastes what I would attribute to like an oak, like a woody flavor. It almost has like a.
That's what I said the first.
Yeah.
First sip.
It sits on there like a. Usually, with all the bourbons we were doing, it was so much of that caramel, brown sugar, vanilla flavor that overrode like the oakiness. I want to try, and we don't have one over here yet. They have some double oaks out there, and I know they're usually in a pricier range when you get the. So I want to almost see if that's what's gonna give us that. No, that's definitely what we're tasting. You know what I mean? Where you get that extra dose.
Finally comes through.
Well, yeah, it might actually be what throws us over the top. And if anyone's watching and you're like, it's this, you dopes, go ahead and leave it down in the comment down below because we're not proud. Leave it down below. If what we're saying it means something to you guys, leave a comment down below because I'd be interested. Because I know, palate-wise, I know what I'm tasting, but to verbalize it, this is a lot trickier than you think. And this is kind of what got me to want to do this because you know what? I watch these all the time and great for all of those guys that have been doing this for years and are successful. I didn't do it to try to be successful. I did it because I want to try the difference. I'm not going to lie. And I was hoping there's people out there like me that wanted to do the same thing we're doing. So now you're looking at it right from the get-go. We literally
From the
had
start.
0 bottles, and here we are. And I'm doing it not as much to make a collection, but as to be able to sit there and say, you know, when someone new comes over, your wife comes over, and you're like, try this one, this is what I get, try this one. It's an experience. And it's not so much that the drinking of whiskey is being able to share it with everyone else. And that's my thing with it. I really think it's something. You know, when I'm smelling the glass now, you know how I always get the oatmeal? It's not.
I didn't get any oatmeal.
No. You know what it is though? It's a thinner one. It's like a cream of wheat. You ever do cream of wheat?
I'll stick with the butterscotch.
No, it is like a butterscotch, but like it's a lighter. Like you don't get that. It's not like the oaty heavy.
Yeah.
Butterscotch is better than like a caramel. It's a lighter flavor, and it's in the smell.
It has kind of more of that smell, I think.
It has a lighter wheatina, actually, if you ever had that. But
no,
that one is another one that has an off taste. It's like a cream of wheat type of, almost a maple, almost borderline butterscotch mapley, more than a vanilla. Like it almost
you get a
brings
nice
me,
little tingle on your tongue.
You know what? I cannot remember when I've had Jameson, and Dad used to buy me one for Christmas, because I'm an easy sell like Christmas time. Buy me a bottle of anything and I'm good. And he used to buy it all the time. But I just remember saying, you know, this actually has a decent amount of flavor though.
From what I remember doing Jameson straight, this is a lot.
It seems to drink down easier. It seems to be a whole lot smoother, as I like to say. But I'm getting like a complexity of flavor. Let's just say the kick. You know what? I almost want to pour one. I can't because there's a dog on me. Take a glass behind me and pour a smidge to smell the Lord Calvin, the cheaper version of the Irish. Oh, that's Canadian. It's not even Irish. Never mind. Disregard. But it reminds me.
We don't have an Irish.
No, we don't have an Irish. This is the first one we did. So disregard that. I was thinking as a comparison, but it won't be fair. It's smoother like that though. Like it's like drinkable to me. Like it seems to be.
There's no punch. Mm-mm. You can feel a slight little burn, but it's not outrageous.
But again, it's not a traditional 80 proof either. It's 86, so it did bump it up a notch. I got to be honest with you, for not being a bourbon, I actually like this. I really do. Like this was, you know, when I was just drinking a bunch of handles of plastic bottles, I would gravitate to the Canadians because they were cheaper. Depending where we were, I would gravitate to somebody else. And this one's actually, no, I'm good for right now. Well, how much was this again? $23.99. It was. I don't hate this at all. This is actually pretty good.
Right. I kind of like it.
I will be interested when we eventually bring a bottle of Jameson in there, or Bushmills, or I'll be interested to see the contrast in flavor.
It start at the bottom, no colors to start, because they all got their different colors. Bushmills has got like blue, green, red. Jameson.
Flavor. No, yeah. Powers does too though.
Oh,
because they have their flagship product, I think, is a higher end. I think this is because this is just their standard. I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure they have their levels. No, Jameson's got like a 12-year and they have like age statements on some of theirs too, where they're higher ends.
What color's higher than the other?
I want to assume at this price range that this would be their lower end, because they have a yellow one too. I want to say, or maybe they're gold.
I don't.
I want to say they have different levels too.
Even in the pubs, like you said, it's kind of.
I've never seen Powers.
It's Bushmills, different colors. It's Jameson,
not that I was looking,
colors.
but you always see Jameson. You always see Bushmill. I've seen Tellermadu. I've never, you know what I mean, as Irish whiskeys, because a lot of people do Jameson.
Profit 12 since it just came out.
Yeah.
So they're trying to sell.
I know my buddy John, and I know you're watching John. He just asked me to try that one, but I know you tried that one. I haven't tried that one, but and I'm afraid to, because I really like Connor. But we and I do actually. He was uber impressive. He had a bad run on his last match, but man, he's pound for pound. He hits harder than most people. But overall, I gotta say, I actually like this. I was not gonna lie, secretly dreading drinking an Irish, because after drinking this many bourbons, you acquire that nice oak flavor, the caramel, and the you know.
I'll be interested to see, because I'll ask my coworkers who are Irish, straight from Ireland, on
what they think, but
where they
categorize. I wish we would have known. We could have did that before we did this one, because I would have been curious to see. Again, we'll follow up with that. If you want to see, leave a comment down below. But I will be curious, because you know what? According to these guys, they were the first Irish distilled, yeah. Of they might have been making something else in the woods for years before that, but these were supposed to be. And traditionally too, I want to say that was, I think booze originated like more from Ireland and it made to Scotland, but these guys are more known for like double distilling, triple distilling, where the Scottish don't normally do the multiple distills. They might do the single pots and stuff like that. But that's the other thing. I'm not sure on Jameson if they run just a single pot, where it makes a difference. The stills do make a difference. I've watched moonshiners. That's the only way I know that. But they do make a difference. Like pot still is different than the other ones. Like certain stills give you traditionally different flavors and different stuff. And I'm not knowledgeable enough to throw that off the top of my head. You'd have to Google that one. But I do know from watching that they've talked about, and I know a thumper makes a big difference in proof. So you can put that on there too. But, in different ones when you watch, only from watching them, but overall, I actually like it.
No,
I think it runs right up with a lot of the
Tennessee.
It reminds me more of the Tennessee whiskeys than the per se bourbons. But it would definitely go in front of one of them up there. You know what I mean? Because there's no punch in the face.
No, it's very drinkable.
No, it's. And I kind of remember, because I have a huge friend of mine, and I know Jimmy's not subscribed because I haven't talked to him in a while, but he will be when he sees this, because he's a huge whiskey nut. But
brown sugar
where he's a huge Jameson nut. He does like his other stuff, but push comes to shove, he goes back to Jameson. And I'll have to phone a friend. I'll have to see what Jimmy says about this one too, because I'm
getting like a brown sugar now, but
not as much. I'm still getting that. It's not vanilla. It reminds me more of butterscotchy. It's more of a sweet vanilla. I don't know if I could say.
Definitely not the brown sugar.
Not the traditional. No, it's not the traditional vanilla brown sugar that we get on the bourbon. But honestly, I think it's opening up though. It is giving me more smells than it did before. It was very faint in the beginning.
Sometimes too, when we drink, it gets closer to.
I think because I don't swirl it as aggressive as some people do, and when you do drink it. Because then the oils of it is actually supposed to stick to your glass, and that's going to help with
we'll work on that.
No, it's a learning process. We hope you're enjoying our learning as we go along, because that's the way you do it. You can only learn one way. But overall, for the price, I know Jameson's up there. I haven't ever bought one. I've always got it, or
it is up there.
But I don't know what it is for $7.50, but I know it's in the 30s for a handle usually.
For a big one?
Yeah.
It's 50s.
Is it more than that?
It's probably 50s.
Oh, I thought I saw it for like 30.
You might get one like this.
Maybe it is that. Maybe it is a $7.50, but it's a tall, skinny.
Yeah.
It might be. I've never bought
50s, 60s.
For a bigger one. Well, there you go.
When we were out of town, it was
Yeah. See, I've never bought. Again, if 10 high, I've told it in many videos. I always went because again, the Irish ones were always a lot more expensive. Same thing. You can get some cheap Scotch out there, and if you're ready to break into some of them, I'll break into some of my plastic bottles I used to do. And you know what? There were some of them I didn't mind. And I, you know what? When we start, and if you want to see some Scotch, leave a comment down below. We do have one that I got for a gift, but it's funny because I used to drink like the rock bottom plastic bottles under $20.
I tried the high end ones, the Glenlivet, the Glenfiddich.
See, I've never had any of them.
Yeah.
And I know my buddy Jimmy that I told you he actually bought me one time, and man, it tasted like I was drinking a dirty Band-Aid. It was so bad. I could barely get it in me. and it was nasty. And I was like, really, you like this? He's like, it's so good. And I was like, I'll stick to my little bottle.
I don't know which one it was, Glenfiddich or Glenlivet, and same thing. It was tough. They like, you gotta drink it like this and try it on ice. And I'm like, I'm dumping ginger ale. Like, I can't believe you're wasting a bottle. I'm like, this is the only way.
Oh yeah. See, I've never gone to any higher end Scotch. I've only done the real cheap one. So
and again, now I was younger, so my taste palate's probably changed. I was a big rum guy back then.
Yep.
So, whiskey really has never been my go-to.
It wasn't for the longest time. When I was traveling the country, I didn't want to lug around cans, so I said, I'm going to start drinking whiskey. And again, that's what got me into it, and I started doing it. And then once you develop a taste and a flavor, I could drink anything on the ice. You know what I mean? Throw it on a few ice cubes, and as long as you had good ice or you had good whiskey, it was fine. But
that does make a huge difference.
That little bit of water that melts down.
Chlorine,
no, because trust me, when you're driving around the country and you're living out of campgrounds, some of them campgrounds got some nasty water. And then you have to buy the bags of ice, because if you throw in some chlorine water, you're drinking pool whiskey. And I drank it, but it's not as good. It goes down, but you're like, oh, what is that aftertaste?
Get a $2 bag of ice.
Yeah, good thing I only paid $15 for a bottle, because this is terrible. But yeah, so overall, no, I definitely, this ain't bad. I actually like it. This is another good addition.
Another one that doesn't really say anything on the label.
Nope.
It tells you really nothing.
And I really didn't get a whole lot of fun facts. Like, I mean, for a company that has been around, what did it say? Like 1700s or something? It
was 17.
I didn't. It was on the bottle. They've been around for.
I think it says 1791.
Yeah, I mean, they've been around a long time.
Don't mind us. Neither one of us can see.
No, I'm actually shocked though that they were considered the first Irish whiskey to be bottled. That you don't see these at the bar.
I guess I'll have to pay attention more, but I don't recall seeing this.
No, you see Jameson. It's like it jumps out at you.
And Bushmills.
Bushmills.
And Talmadge.
Jumps at, that's exactly. Those are the only three that I can recognize.
And like I said, lately you see the Propel.
Because it's
just been advertised. It's a new thing, so they're trying to get that out there.
But Powers may be at some, but
there's one.
You might not even
next
recognize
one up. There's a higher one that's kind of like a bottle. It's shaped. I think it's part of the Jameson clan.
Again, I never really did the Irish whiskeys, so I'm not really.
Well, there is a higher end of one of them, and it's slipping my mind.
And maybe that's why, because they're not so much a well whiskey. You know what I mean? Where they can give you, it's the same thing. How many times do you go up and you say, give me a rum and Coke, and they end up giving you
Ron Roberto.
Ron Rico.
Ron Rico.
Ron Rico, which is even worse, because that just tastes like floor cleaner. It just wrecked you. It didn't have that Ron Roberto I actually like, because that one actually tasted like Bacardi. But Ron Rico to me, oh no, it does. I'll get you a bottle. We're gonna have to do that, because it tastes a lot. Almost like Ron Rico don't. But Ron Roberto had a lot of Bacardi taste.
He's doing it straight like this too? See, I've never done a rum really like this. Well,
Ron Roberto, honestly,
when I was down the islands.
When I drank the cheap Ron Roberto dark rum that they have, it's kind of like a spiced one. It's sweet like candy. You would be like, now that you're drinking these straight, you'd be like, oh my God, that's so smooth. Like, you wouldn't even want to mix it with Coke, because it drank down easier than half the cheap bourbons I used to drink, or whatever whiskey. Like 10 Highs and all the cheap ones I was drinking. Well, I ran out one day and I was like, well, I'll try this. And I had a bottle of it, and I was like, wow, that's even easier to drink than the other one. It was like, it was like drinking a wine compared to it. It was nice and smooth, and went right down. But there you go. There is the Powers. I think it's smooth as silk and drinks like candy. It really does. It's nice. It reminds me of.
It was what, $25, $24.
Yeah, 23. I think it was $23.99.
Yeah,
when we looked.
yeah.
And no, I get that. I do. Almost, it reminds me of butterscotch. And again, that's the fun thing of smelling. It's whatever you think, and that's what pops into my head.
If I remember correctly, doing Jameson shots, this is a way cleaner drink.
We'll have to look to see next time I go and.
And I'm thinking you're paying more for Jameson.
I agree. That's why I don't think I ever really bought it, because I had said that, like, if I'm going to spend more for something, it should go down easier. You know what I mean? And that was why I always gravitated to the really cheap whiskeys, because sometimes when I was, I'm like, okay, I can buy this handle for $15, or I can buy this other small bottle for $15, But that one's harder to drink than the handle is. Like, so I would go with the handle, because you get more whiskey for it. But this actually drinks right down. And it actually has a nice smell.
It does.
Like, it's not...
Well, we still can't figure it out.
I figured it out. To me, butterscotch white cake. That's what I'm getting. That's what I smell. You know what? And I
can get a little bit of a butterscotch.
I
had
learned. I had said that. I watch enough of the people. I
guess I got to start.
Well, no, I stopped trying to, and that was one of the master distillers was doing a thing on one of the channels, and they were talking about a class. I'm not trying to find. I don't care what the bottle tells me I'm supposed to smell. I don't care what anyone else thinks they smell. You smell what you smell, and then you build off of that. And to me, that's exact. I smell.
I must be a slow learner.
No, and then they say if you smell, if you smell candy, what kind of candy is it? Or if you smell fruit, what kind of fruit is it? A dark fruit or is it a light fruit? Do you smell like pear or do you, and then you go off of what you smell. And to me, I smell butterscotch and white cake. That's exactly what I smell. Are those two traditional smells?
I can give you the butterscotch, but I don't know about the white.
No, it's in my head, and again, you might smell totally different. The fun thing is, and again, I hate to keep repeating, but if you go on the Whiskey Vault or Whiskey Tribe, one of the two channels, they actually have a board, and they have their people that write in like what they smell. So they'll tell you, okay, today we're doing powers. What do you smell? What's your number one smell? And they have everyone put in, and then they tally how many people said vanilla, how many people said this, and then they do a game off of it. And it's amazing. You have a whole wheel of like 40 flavors. Don't get me wrong, some of the flavors are just like somebody's mom or something, you know what I mean? Like, and 42 people are going to say it, and it makes the wheel. But it's funny to actually do it. But it's amazing. Some people are smelling green grass. Because that's what they smell.
You come up with that the other day.
Well, and sometimes, you know what? Well, and again, that's what it reminded me of. But that was because it reminded me of that, and it might remind somebody else who walked through that same field and had that same smell. And so I try now in order to get better.
I'm giving you the butterscotch
because it's more butterscotch than brown sugar. I know where you get with the brown sugar because it's a faint. But to me, I get in butterscotch, and I get white cake. That's the other thing. Like
I'm gonna have to stick with white cake.
Well, to me, because vanilla cake tastes worse than chocolate. It just really does. No offense to all the people that love the vanilla cake. I think it's just lame. Like, it just tastes. It's not as good. I like chocolate cake. I don't like cake at all. But if I gotta eat a cake, I want a chocolate one, preferably ice cream. But overall, I like it. So there you go. There is our Powers review. Sorry that I just babbled on for 10 minutes. But
First Irish.
Yeah, first Irish, and it's a banger right off the bat. I think it's the best Irish we've had yet. I can be honest with you. But I do like it.
It is probably that.
No, and it might even remain that way. But it definitely it wouldn't take the top 3 of the bourbons or the drinks that we have up here. I don't think so. I don't think it would
again, now we're in a different comparison.
It would be a different. Well, I'm just saying, like, would I want to drink this other than that?
Yeah, I could drink this other than that, but
you think it competes?
Oh no. But I would not.
I would 100% buy this again.
Yes, that's what I'm
saying.
But
I don't think it would take a top spot.
I don't think so.
No, because I just think these just carry more flavor. You know what I mean? More flavor, more, just overall better. So there you go. There's the Powers review. But, leave a comment down below. Let us know if you've had it. Let us know if you see it in the bars. I really don't, but I don't go to bars anymore. I can't remember the last time I've been to a bar because I stay at home. But, yeah, you take note because you go more than I do on there and see because I don't remember. I mean, it's a very distinct bottle, and I know it comes in different colors.
They always keep them all together,
and it comes in different colors, so that's going to be the only difference. But I mean, you can't miss that. It's a diamond.
Sure, they got the green label.
Yeah, I know they're going to go. The yellow one was their flagship product, so and that's probably their higher end. I'm assuming, usually, and I'm sure they come in different things. But overall, I think it was delicious. And, there it is. So there's Powers. Thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button when I forget to say it. There it is. And spend less, drink more.
Cheers.
Cheers.